So yesterday I put out a video about the cult of Trump, and I quickly realized that it really wasn't fair of me to do that. I talked about Trump as a cult leader and his followers as displaying signs of cultic indoctrination, but I hadn't even offered up a definition of cult yet. So that's what I want to do in this video. I want to distill about 7 pages of my book into a less than 3-minute video. So here we go. So the word itself is about 400 years old, comes from the Latin via the French, and it was taken up about 100 years ago by academics to refer to sort of rogue or fringe religious groups like the cult of Mithras, Dionysus, and Isis, or the Pythagorean Brotherhood. In the late 19th century, the word took on a different connotation when it was taken up by the German sociologist Max Weber, who was the first to recognize the importance of charismatic authority as distinct from traditional legal authority in the formation of certain religious groups that were centered around charismatic individuals. Subsequent sociologists began dividing cults into certain categories, such as churchly, sectarian, and mystical, and further subdivisions followed, such as doomsday or apocalyptic cults, political cults, polygamous cults, racist cults, and terrorist cults. Eventually, cult researchers began focusing not on the types of cults, but on the internal dynamics, such as mind control and brainwashing. Interest in cults skyrocketed during the 60s and 70s, during which time we saw an increase in non-traditional spiritual beliefs and practices that most people associate with the New Age. Noticing this trend, several researchers in the mid-1970s wrote about cults as being characterized by epistemological individualism, describing them as loosely structured, tolerant, non-exclusive, with porous boundaries and fluctuating belief systems. Other scholars have noted that cults are actually more likely to be authoritarian and controlling, with strict rules and beliefs, rigid hierarchies, and a tightly insular quality that makes it difficult for members to access the outside world and vice versa. One of the first researchers to think about cults in this way was Dr. Steven Hassan, who I talked about in my previous video. He is known for his BITE model, which stands for behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. Another cult researcher, Kathleen Mann, put forward a MIND model, which stands for manipulation, indoctrination, negation, and deception. Other models followed, and in 1986 an academic conference was organized during which participants came up with the following definition for a cult: a group or movement exhibiting great or excessive devotion or dedication to some person, idea, or thing, and employing unethical, manipulative, or coercive techniques of persuasion and control, e.g. isolation from former friends and family, debilitation, use of special methods to heighten suggestibility and subservience, powerful group pressures, information management, suspension of individuality or critical judgment, promotion of total dependency on the group and fear of leaving it, all designed to advance the goals of the group's leaders to the actual or possible detriment of members, their families, or the community. Despite this robust definition and all the academic attention paid to cults in recent years, the term still remains hugely subjective among ordinary people. Generally, it is used to refer to any religious group that one does not like, leading some scholars to suggest that we instead use the term new religious movement.